Right, you probably read the title of the video. This will be a video specifically for beginner copywriters coming from someone who's just hit their 10K month last month, and I've only been doing this for 6 months. So just a quick backstory about me. Stumbled upon copywriting back in 2024, August 2024. Looked into it for about 2 weeks, just didn't really invest the time in it. And then due to a series of very unfortunate events, picked up copywriting again back in March 2025, which at the time of this recording is about 7 months ago, and signed my first client back in April of 2025. So I would have been 9 days into my journey, signed my first client, and then slowly after that signed my second. I had a bit of a drought for about 2 weeks where I couldn't sign anyone, but then signed my third, fourth, was referred to fifth, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think I know what I'm talking about. I've really advanced in this space very quickly. There's a lot of tips and tricks that I will mention in here that a lot of people will not mention or even sell you in a course. These are some things that I've done on my own, which I don't see anyone else showing. But before we get into the meat of this video, where the actual advice is, if you just follow my Instagram down below, hopefully I've remembered to put it in the description and comments. Just trying to grow the account. If you are on your journey and you do want some advice or some mentorship or any coaching or if you want to ask me a question, feel free to message me on there. Any questions regarding your copy journey, what to learn, how to outreach, etc., feel free to reach out. So without further ado, let's go on to advice number 1, which is learn copywriting, but also learn marketing basics. Copywriting is a skill which is used in marketing, and if you do not understand marketing, you are gonna struggle quite heavily when it comes to actually signing a client and doing work for them and understanding how their funnels and marketing works. Now, learning copywriting is not hard. There's a bunch of free courses online, 10-hour courses, 8-hour courses, very detailed courses. They're practically all you need. Some people like to read books to learn courses. Some people like to read books to learn copywriting, which you can. It's more difficult. I don't know why I'd make it more difficult for yourself, but you can. You don't really need paid courses. Majority of the stuff on paid courses is just stuff you can find for free on YouTube if you looked hard enough. I'd say the only difference between a paid course and a free one on YouTube is everything sourced together instead of little bits and bobs all over YouTube. If you have the money for a course or mentorship, I'd highly suggest you go for mentorship, just because you get that one-to-one experience, and there'll be quite unique battles you will have to face, which a course will not teach you. I can tell you that firsthand. So if you have the money, go for coaching and mentorship. If you don't have the money, free courses. That's all you need. So advice number 2, this is more towards if you're already in the copywriting space and you can't find or sign any clients. And I'll be straightly blunt with you, which no one else will tell you. You're probably just bad at copy. Now, copywriting is just persuasive text, and outreach is just persuading a business owner or an online coach or whoever you're marketing or pitching your services to. You're just persuading them to buy your services in exchange for a monetary gain, i.e. revenue share or a recurring revenue. If you are struggling with outreach, most of the chances are your message is just badly written copy, which is overlooked. Now, there's obviously some factors of trust, what your profile looks like, how you initially approach, but 9 times out of 10 from what I've seen, it's bad copy. So if you do number 1 right, number 2 should come easy. Now, I spent a couple days learning basic copy and implementing my copy into work. So I'd write emails, sales pages, all that stuff, and pitch that to prospects. But I'd also make sure my message conveyed good copy to get them to open the free value I've sent them, the sales page I've sent them, just to show them that value. If my opening message doesn't do that, how will they see the good copy, and so on and so forth. So if you're struggling with outreach, most time it is bad copy. If I can do it in 9 days, why can't someone else? I learned strictly off a free course with sheer will and sheer resistance, which brings me on to my third point, or third advice, which is mental resilience and discipline. Now, this is probably the most key part in your copywriting journey. I've seen a lot of people who will face one loss, potentially miss out on a client, and just completely let them overwhelm them, define who they are, give up, and move on to the next shiny object. There will be times where things don't go your way. There will be times where you will have to fight through the mental fog and the self-doubt. Now, self-doubt is quite honestly one of the biggest things I had to go through, mainly because it's something I've never done before. And for a lot of people here, it's something you've never done before. This is business. This is something this isn't taught. From what I found, the majority of learning in business is failing and learning from what I failed. And then from those learnings, changing my approach and moving forward. A lot of people have one or two failures, think it's not for them, let their mind overconsume them, and just give up. Now, one of the best quotes I ever heard was, "You can't lose if you don't give up," which was really key in my outreach journey from the first start. 20 to 40 outreaches a day, I think I was doing, to get my first client per day. And I remember all the rejections, all the red opens, all the blocked messages, blocked accounts. I had someone rudely discourage me, which was nice of her, but you don't let that affect you. But then also I've seen in some local communities in copywriting where someone will try it for 5 days, won't get a response after sending 20 messages, and say, this isn't for me. I would say my first 2 clients, outreaching to them was tough. There was a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of self-doubt when people would open the message, tell me to fuck off, or I don't need a copywriter right now. But once I had gotten that first client signed, the relief and stress was gone. So that is one thing I wish I could have been told earlier. Although it took me 9 days, from day 1 till day 9, I was thinking a lot of, I don't think this is right for me. I think I should give up. Maybe video editing looks good. IPA looks good. This other business model looks good. Let me try e-com. But I slowly realized that if I just jump onto the next, instead of building my skill set from here, I'm just going to go back down to 1, and I will have to restart my journey all over again. So mental resilience is definitely key. Even when I signed my first client, no one will tell you this. Sorry about that. No one will tell you this. The imposter syndrome you feel when you sign your first client is unreal. You just don't believe it. Once that paycheck lands in your account, you just stare at it thinking, there's no way I did this. I don't think I can repeat this again. I just must have been lucky. Like, there's no way I can do it again. And that doubt plays on you, and it starts affecting you mentally. Like, you wake up, you look at the account, it's there, and you're thinking, whoa, was it that easy? Was it that simple? Can I do this again? It gets you, but I think it goes away quite quickly, and when you do it again and you repeat the success, that imposter syndrome slowly starts to fade. But I would say after my second client, signing my third client, there was a long drought. I think it was just over 5 weeks. So I've had the 2, but I wanted to scale. And it was 45 days of outreach. And at this point, I had proof to back up my work. No clients. Nobody wanted to sign me. It was a very long and stressful 45 days. It was a weird space because I know I could do it. It was just no one was biting, taking the bait. I thought my copy was bad. I changed my approach. It was tough. I think it was just a very unlucky, tough space at the time. But had I given up, I don't think I'd hit the numbers that I've hit last month and making that 10K. So mental resilience and discipline is key. I stayed very disciplined. It was the same routine every single day: client work, outreach, practice copy, client work, outreach, practice copy, going. Slowly it paid off, and I'm at the position I'm at right now. Now, number four. Advice number four. There's a big stigma in the copywriting space where people are saying AI will replace copywriting. Now, I completely want to disregard this and put my two pence into it. AI will be used in copywriting. Yes, I think it will be used in copywriting. In fact, I use AI in my copywriting to help achieve results for my clients. But there's a stigma of business owners and people can just type a prompt into GPT or Claude and it will give them the best marketing solution in the world. It can't. AI is completely trashed in terms of imagination, understanding markets, understanding needs and human desires. There's so much that goes into copywriting and marketing that AI simply cannot replicate. AI is simply a tool for efficiency. And it's also an amplifier. So what do I mean by that? If you are a bad copywriter and you prompt AI to write you copy, and you make your changes and all that stuff, it will simply write copy which would have taken you an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours, reduce that time by nearly 2/3 of how long it would have taken you to write, and just exponentially make it more bad. So if I'm a bad copywriter and I write a sales pitch which takes me 3 hours, but now I get AI to do it, AI will write that page in an hour but at worse quality. I like to tell people all the time, you need to get good at copywriting first before we start implementing AI. AI is simply an efficiency tool, not a cognitive replacement. It cannot replace your own mind, your own critical thinking. It can't do that for you. Just ask ChatGPT to count to 100. It can't do it. So don't worry about the whole AI will replace copywriters. The good writers will use AI to wipe out the bad writers. So you need to get that whole stigma out of your head. I do see a lot of people, I think when I made my post on the Tyson 4D server, a lot of people asked me, what prompt did you use, what AI did you use? And the common answer was, I didn't use AI in my beginning phase of learning copywriting. I strictly learned copywriting before I implemented AI. And even AI was a last minute implementation when I needed big projects done quickly. So anyone out there teaching you that you can simply type in a prompt and it will magically write you a sales page, it's just selling you snake oil. It's just not gonna work. Get good at copywriting first, achieve results with manual copywriting, then look at implementing AI. Once you understand copywriting, AI will be an easy implementation, but a lot of the times I see complete robotic trash. And the final piece of advice I want to give, it will be a lonely road. These last 6 months have been me in my room, just working away. I've had no social life. I've had time to enjoy myself. Obviously, I've set aside time, but the majority of the time I'm working 14 to 16 hour days. I wake up, meeting with client, outreach, doing client work, and that's all I've been doing. I sacrificed my entire summer working on a big project for a client, which did pay off at the end. I mean, at the end of September, I got a hefty commission return, but what I sacrificed was enjoying my summer. I had money built up from previous wins leading up to summer, and I thought, ooh, perfect, I can actually enjoy it for a long time, for the first time in a long time. But the opportunity came up to make a lot. Ooh, weird. The opportunity came up to make a lot of money, so it was sacrificing the summer to make that money, and it paid off. But I know a lot of people would have rather had that social life and missed out on the opportunity. So what I'd like to say is, it's a lonely road, and if you do feel alone, you're not wrong in feeling that way, but it's just the route you're going to take. It's the art abnormal route, but to be, I don't know, how do I say this? If you don't want to be normal, you can't do normal things. It's normal to enjoy your summer. It's normal to go out. It's normal to enjoy your life. The short term. What's not normal is 14-hour days, 16-hour days in the blazing heat, sitting in your room all day. It's not healthy. I'll be honest, it's not healthy. But it's some sacrifices you have to make to enjoy the long term. If I didn't sacrifice my summer, I don't think I'd be sitting here recording a video explaining to you how I hit 10K in 6 months. I'll probably still be doing 4 or 5K months. So yeah, that's all the advice I have to give for now. I can't really think of anything else on the top of my head. I might do a video in the future explaining how I learned very quickly and the techniques I use. So if that is something you do want to see, please do let me know. If you do want any help or coaching, again, I'm not here to sell you anything. There's no course, scammy course, like I'll tell you for free. There's YouTube videos with everything on there. But if you do want coaching, or if you have any questions, just hit me up on my IG, just follow me on there. Any questions relating to copywriting and your journey or anything you're struggling with, just send me a message and I'll be more than glad to help you out. So do look out for a new video. This was my very first video, so I'm sorry about that whole light cutting out and me acting awkward. It's very weird. Should get better with time, but yeah, stick to your journey, stay disciplined, you will win.